Hi, I'm Sam, and welcome back to our greenhouse here in Dyersville, Iowa. Today we're going to take a few minutes and talk to you about some of the tricks and techniques of growing lettuce in your NFT 50 channels. We start our seeds in the 10-20 flats underneath a clear dome to improve the humidity. We seed them directly into these rock wall cubes here that fit real nicely in the 10-20 tray. For a couple of weeks, they're in these flats with a bottom heat, just to improve the rate of the seedling germinating and also the overall growth rate. So for a couple of weeks, they're in these trays with the domes. Once you start to see the sprouts, you can remove your dome. Now those seedlings are a little bit too small to transplant right into the table. You can see these seedlings look fairly similar in size. However, after you pull them out of the tray, this seedling is not quite ready to transplant into the nursery channels on your NFT 50 lettuce table. The roots are not coming out of the bottom of the cube enough to reach that nutrient solution, which is constantly flowing in the base of the channels. This seedling, however, as you can see, the roots are coming out of the bottom of the cube better. Those roots will reach that nutrient film on the bottom of the channel, and you will have more success with the seedling where the roots are protruding from the bottom. We have two rows. The system comes with 2 rows of nursery channels where your plants are really nice and tight together. Being careful not to damage the roots, carefully put the little cube in there. Maybe use a little twisting motion and try not to push it through. It will happen occasionally that you'll push the plug right through. The nice thing is that the channel lid comes off easily. You can get the cube back out and you can see the roots just starting to grow in the nursery channel here. We leave the seedlings in the nursery channels to optimize the square footage of your table. You can really stack the plants together. And then in a couple more weeks, we simply move the cube over to the larger spacing and give them more room to mature on this side of the table. Here you can see the seedling roots after a few more weeks in the channels. They kind of tie themselves together and they just kind of float in that nutrient solution along the bottom of the channel. If you are continuing to experience problems with wilt and seedling mortality, you may need to top water real sparingly just to get those seedlings started in the initial stages. We want the seedling to seek out that water on its own as much as possible. However, due to some environmental circumstances, if you are experiencing wilt, a real light top water in the morning hours will help your seedlings' success rate ultimately. With our lettuce tables, they're designed for a constant flow of nutrient solution. The plant's roots bathe in that about 1/8 of an inch of nutrient solution, which is constantly flowing. We have 2 tubes coming in the back of the channel here. If one of your tubes happens to become plugged, at least you have a backup. It may be a little bit less flow, but your seedlings will still have an adequate amount of water to keep growing. Here we're growing basil in the lettuce table. Basil requires greater spacing, therefore, the holes that you are not using, we put a white duct tape over it to eliminate any extra light getting to that nutrient solution. The elimination of light helps inhibit the growth of fungus and algae that you may experience throughout your growing cycle. In 6 to 10 weeks, you're ready to harvest your fresh hydroponic lettuce. No soil to wash off, but with all the healthy benefits.